I'll read verse 16 again. Take heed to yourselves that your heart be not deceived, and ye turn aside and serve other gods and worship them. And then the Lord's wrath be kindled against you, and he shut up the heaven, that there be no rain, and that the land yield not her fruit. You see what happens to the earth? God is in control of this earth. He's also given a little bit of power to Satan. He creates a lot of havoc here. But God ultimately is in control. And lest ye perish quickly from off the good land which the Lord giveth you. In other words, pay attention. If you step out of bounds, he's saying it's going to fall apart. You have to obey God. And when you do obey him, that's when the joy comes. You get involved in all the unlawful stuff, the wrong way of living. There's no true happiness there. You might have a couple of pleasures once in a while that make you feel good, but that's not true happiness. And there's absolutely no love involved in it. Therefore shall ye lay up these my words in your heart and in your soul, and bind them for a sign upon your hand, that they may be as frontlets between your eyes. That's interesting stuff. And it's real interesting to see how the Jews put all that together, and they do it. The Hasidic Jews, a lot of them, they go to extremes, and they try to do it to put on a show, which is absolutely useless. God sees right through all that crap. And ye shall teach them your children. All of his commandments, he is commanding us to teach our children. All my kids know about God. They've all been told you need to read the book. I told my kids that you need to do the right thing. I can't hold your hand and pull you down the path. You have to make the walk yourself. All of you who might be listening to me, the walk is yours. Nobody can make the walk for you. You have to make that decision yourself. Listen to this. And ye shall teach them your children. You gotta teach the kids. Speaking of them when thou sittest in thine house. We're talking about his commandments here. And his statutes. All the right things. And when thou walkest by the way. When you're walking down the street. Walking a path in the woods. And you're taking your kids with you. He's saying, you talk about me and you explain things about me. About God. When thou liest down, and when thou risest up. The first thing in the morning, the last thing at night, you want to say, hello, God. Thank you. Thank you for this day. Please help me make through another one. And give me the strength to do it the right way. And thou shalt write them upon the doorpost of thine house, and upon thy gates. He wants you to remember this stuff, huh? You see any of them in the courthouse anymore? How about down there in Washington? Where all them demon craps the communist Muslims are trying to take over the U.S., huh? How about this trip that Trump just got finished doing, huh? Now listen, I don't know if this guy's a real godly dude. I don't know that. But I also know from reading this book that God can use anybody for good. And I'm hoping that Trump is being used by God. Because it is. Now, here's what's going to happen. He's going to bring judgment upon us. I mean, since 1973, not me, not my wife, but a lot of people have been killing the American kids before they're even born. Planned Parenthood. 100% evil. That's the devil. I don't know how many kids have been killed, but it sure is a lot. Our population has increased every single year, but not by American. It's by foreign people who want to take over this country. Not only is that my opinion, but all you got to do is look it up and you'll say, wow, he's right. He's right. That's me. All right. All right, he gave you all the commandments, what to do with your kids. And the last one that says, and thou shalt write them upon the doorpost of thine house and upon thy gates. In the next verse, he's going to tell you what happens because you did that. That your days may be multiplied, and the days of your children, in the land which the Lord sware unto your fathers to give them, as the days of heaven upon the earth. For if ye shall diligently, how many times have I used the word diligently? Those who diligently seek God, find him. For if ye shall diligently keep all these commandments which I command you, to do them, to love the Lord your God, to walk in all his ways, and to cleave unto him, then will the Lord drive out all these nations from before you, and ye shall possess greater nations and mightier than yourselves. Every place wherein the soles of your feet shall tread shall be yours. From the wilderness and Lebanon, from the river Euphrates, even unto the uttermost sea shall your coast be. There shall no man be able to stand before you, for the Lord your God shall lay the fear of you and the dread of you upon the land that ye shall tread upon, as he hath said unto you. All these things were told the nation Israel. Behold, I set before you this day a blessing and a curse. A blessing if ye obey the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you this day. You live the right way, the way he sets down for you, you get a blessing. Wow. And a curse if ye will not obey the commandments of the Lord your God, but turn aside out of the way which I command you this day, to go after other gods which ye have not known. What's another god, huh? What do you worship? Your big house, your fast cars, all kinds of stuff that will pass away. God does not pass away. And it shall come to pass, when the Lord thy God hath brought thee in unto the land whither thou goest to possess it, that thou shalt put the blessing upon Mount Gerizim, and the curse upon Mount Ebal. I don't claim to understand that one. Are they not on the other side Jordan? I understand that part. It's not where they're at, it's where they're headed. By the way where the sun goeth down, it must be in the west, in the land of the Canaanites, which dwell in the champaign over against Gilgal, beside the plains of Moreh. There's a question mark after that. He's asking that question. I'm glad he didn't ask me, because I don't have an answer for him. For ye shall pass over the Jordan to go in to possess the land which the Lord your God giveth you, and ye shall possess it and dwell therein. And ye shall observe to do all the statutes and judgments which I set before you this day. Oh, man. I'm going to read some more. I'm going to read in chapter 12 in Deuteronomy. One of the main reasons I'm reading this is because some people have the opportunity to hear it, but they don't have the book. So now you can hear the word of God. Put it in your head. Think about it. Just try to think about some of this stuff. And at the right time, he will bring the right stuff to your remembrance. But it has to be put in your head. And I'm happy to do it for you. I can't pronounce all this stuff. I got a wicked sore throat most of the time. But I take a little break because I'm not bashful. And I bring down the Osaka, and I do a Marco Rubio. This is what Marco does. He takes water. He's talking to people. He says, oh, I need a drink. I saw President Trump take a drink during his speech today. He's not bashful either. Here's chapter 12 in the book of Deuteronomy, the Old Testament. These are the statutes and judgments which ye shall observe to do in the land, which the Lord God of thy fathers giveth thee to possess it, all the days that ye live upon the earth. Here's the commandments, and it's forever. Ye shall utterly destroy all the places wherein the nations which ye shall possess serve their gods. Upon the high mountains, and upon the hills, and under every green tree. And ye shall overthrow their altars, and break their pillars, and burn their groves with fire, and ye shall hew down the graven images of their gods, and destroy the names of them out of that place. Ye shall not do so unto the Lord your God. He's telling them to go in, take all these things that they worship, like going into a Catholic church and destroying all those figurines, you want to call them, or statues of, well, I call them Huey, Dewey, and Louie, because I'm being derogatory there. I mean, those people, they even think Mary is still alive. And she prays to Mary. There's a statue of Mary there, the Mother of God. She's dead. Wow. But unto the place which the Lord your God shall choose out of all your tribes to put his name there, even unto his habitation shall ye seek, and thither thou shalt come. I liked some of this language. And thither ye shall bring your burnt offerings and your sacrifices and your tithes and heave offerings of your hand and your vows and your free will offerings and the firstlings of your herds and of your flocks. There's a lot of stuff. You got to read this a lot of times in order to really be comfortable with it. And there ye shall eat before the Lord your God, and ye shall rejoice at all that ye put your hand unto, ye and your households, wherein the Lord thy God hath blessed thee. You're keeping the commandments, and you are blessed. If you don't keep the commandments, there's a curse. That's not pleasant. Ye shall not do after all the things that we do here this day. Every man whatsoever is right in his own eyes. That's no law. It's like a communist Muslim being the president of the United States, putting into place medical insurance. They call it health care. Medical insurance is not health care. Health care is what the insurance buys. And he says, if you don't do it, I'm going to take your money. That's exactly what they call it, a tax. You can only tax something that you have, something that you bought or you own. You don't have something to be taxed if you don't have insurance. They will kill you if you don't do it. Communist Muslim, that's what he is. For ye are not as yet come to the rest and to the inheritance which the Lord your God giveth you. They didn't get there yet. They're still on that side of Jordan. But when ye go over Jordan, and dwell in the land which the Lord your God giveth you to inherit, and when he giveth you rest from all your enemies round about, so that ye dwell in safety, then there shall be a place which the Lord your God shall choose to cause his name to dwell there. Thither shall ye bring all that I command you, your burnt offerings, and your sacrifices, your tithes, and the heave offering of your hand, and all your choice vows which ye vow unto the Lord. I gotta stop this for a second, and I'll be right back, and I'm going to continue right there.